Newcastle have kicked Arsenal out of the Carabao Cup. It means that the winner of Spurs versus Liverpool will be versing Newcastle. Let's talk about the Newcastle game for a bit, but also talk about the Spurs versus Liverpool game leading up into it. Personally, Newcastle, which is the better team, won there. Over both legs also. I think it goes without saying that Alexander Isak is definitely one of the best, if not the best striker in the Premier League. I feel like Isak can definitely do a lot more than Erling Haaland. I'm not gonna lie, as a Liverpool fan, I would have probably wanted Arsenal. I don't know why. I feel like Newcastle, they're just so much more dangerous than Arsenal. I think Alexander Isak obviously is one of the reasons. But yeah, no, you just look at those two goals, okay? The first goal, obviously, giving Alexander Isak any sort of space, he will punish you. I know he doesn't really get the goal here, but you know, he hits a very, very good shot with the weak foot. It shows that this guy probably has like very little weaknesses also, by the way. It hits the post and it goes into the path of Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy just slots it in. Newcastle are a very physical team as well, and they definitely know the dark arts. They were frustrating Arsenal. Arsenal's midfield wasn't even in the game, really. Even one of Arsenal's best players right now, Saliba, got bullied. Absolutely bullied. It's so funny and cruel how football can be sometimes, where you can be at the highs of winning Manchester City 5-1 and now getting kicked out of the Carabao Cup. What is surely embarrassing though is the fact that Arsenal didn't even get a goal. You know, Liverpool could also do this against Spurs, but Arsenal didn't get a goal against Newcastle. 2-0 outplayed in the first leg, 2-0 outplayed in the second leg. That second goal was actually shocking, by the way. Like, it was a combined effort from two of Arsenal's most reliable players, David Raya and Declan Rice. I give majority of the blame to David Raya here. I feel like there's no option, just boot it forward. But you know what the guy does? He passes it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice looks like he's probably asking for it as well. Fabian Schär, I don't know what you're doing over there, but Fabian Schär does very well to press, get the ball into the path of Gordon. Gordon slots it in. Listen, Newcastle, they've been here before recently. They've been in the Carabao Cup final. So I feel like a lot of those players will be a lot more up for it. Now let's talk about Liverpool versus Tottenham. This is a game that's happening tonight and I hope Liverpool can get the job done. You know, a lot of Liverpool fans will probably have their eyes set on bigger prizes like the Premier League. I would even say lots of Liverpool fans have their eyes set on the Champions League. But you can't deny a trophy. You can't say you don't want to win the trophy. Especially if you're here. By the time you reach the Carabao Cup semi-finals, like, bro, just try and be in that final. Try and win the cup. You only have to look back as recent as last season to see why this cup means so much also to Liverpool. It was Klopp's last trophy. Liverpool currently hold the record for the most Carabao Cup wins. And listen, it could potentially be Arne Slot's first trophy with Liverpool as well. Like, try and get that first trophy under your belt as soon as possible. We all know it's going to be a bit of a difficult task. It is going to be at Anfield though, so maybe that will make things a lot easier. But there's a 1-0 deficit to turn around. For Slot to even have a chance of winning any silverware, Liverpool must overturn this 1-goal deficit at Anfield. Remember though that Liverpool were just poor on the day also against Spurs. Like, it was an 86-minute goal from Lucas Bergwijn, who was lucky to even be on the pitch. Liverpool need just one goal to take the tie to extra time and penalties if needed. Tottenham will be dangerous on the break for sure, but there's so many injuries. You got Dominik Szoboszlai out, Brennan Johnson, James Maddison. You got a lot of players from Tottenham injured. Like, this is going to be such a weakened Tottenham team. And then on the other side, Arne Slot doesn't really like to rotate that much. So I think Liverpool should be playing with a lot more quality than Spurs. Trent Alexander-Arnold is probably going to miss this game due to injury. Slot did confirm this also in the press conference that he will miss the game against Spurs. The injury isn't too bad, however there is still doubt that he'll be available against Plymouth in the FA Cup. Slot did mention as well that he's already on the pitch, not with the team, but was the rehab coach. So Trent Alexander-Arnold should be back hopefully by the time the Merseyside derby turns around. But listen, Conor Bradley will probably start against Spurs. I'm still quite happy with that. But if I have to do a predicted lineup, I'll probably go with like Keller in goal. I think he'll probably rotate Alisson and Keller. Bradley will start. Konate and Van Dijk, I hope them to start. I think Robertson will be probably the left back. The midfield three as well should be Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Mac Allister. Like, go for your strongest team here. Then up front, Salah, Gakpo, and maybe Darwin Nunez can get the nod. But I would probably prefer him as like a super sub. But I'm trying to predict Slot's lineup here, and I think he might go for chaos right from the get-go. Slot can afford to go with a strong team against Tottenham tonight because obviously we're going to be versing Plymouth next. I think that's where a mass rotation can happen again. Listen, there's going to be a lot of pressure also on Ange Postecoglou to get the win here. Ange Postecoglou, he obviously said that he wins things in his second year. Spurs could potentially win the FA Cup. They are currently having a 1-0 lead into the Carabao Cup semi-final. Premier League is definitely out of the picture and Europa League is still there. So Ange Postecoglou could potentially still have a good season. However, picking up just 27 points in 24 Premier League matches has left Ange Postecoglou's team 14th place in the Premier League and probably not that confident. However, their form in the Carabao Cup has been some sort of a relief for them, and I think they definitely would want to try and go into this final. Now, that might be by all means necessary. That might be by doing some of the dark arts, parking the bus. It's going to be a tough game at Anfield, definitely. So we're all looking forward to this game, and I think Arne Slot is definitely one of those managers who will definitely bring the challenge to Tottenham. I feel like Liverpool also had so much experience already this season with low blocks. If Tottenham will come with that tactic, Liverpool should be patient enough. They should be able to break down this low block. Obviously, the first goal sets the tone. I won't be surprised if Spurs, for the first 10 minutes, do try and get that first goal, because a 2-0 lead to sit back on for the rest of the tie, yeah, they'll be very comfortable to sit back on a 2-goal lead instead of just the one. So potentially the first 10 minutes of the game could be, end to end, both teams trying to get that first goal. That's just the way cup competitions work. That's just how a two-legged tie works. Once you're in the second tie, it's like you can easily kill the game off. It happened in the Newcastle game. Once Newcastle got that first goal, yeah, 3-0 aggregate, Arsenal were never coming back. It's going to be an ugly one. It's going to be a dogfight. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Let me know, will Liverpool get the job done against Spurs?